Austin, let's go over your paper. You did a good job on your essay. And as I was reading it, it occurred to me that this is more of a feature essay, so more of a point-by-point essay than a block essay, and somehow I've either got those wrong on your assignment sheet or I said them wrong in a video. I'm not sure which, but you went through these features and you did a great job comparing the two. I'm going to go ahead and go through and track my changes, and then I'm going to give you this document back so you can see the changes I made. And let's go ahead and go through it. The first change that I'd like to see is right down here where you have this question. Lastly, what is the fuel economy on the Mustang and Camaro? Let's just say something more along the lines, instead of a question there where you've been making statement after statement after statement, let's kind of follow that trend with, let's turn it into a statement. The fuel economy on the Mustang and the Camaro is almost, whoops, I don't want it to be all uppercase, is almost the same. Mustang gets 19 miles per gallon. Okay. And then let's go over to interior. Interior is a plus in a sports car. What you'll hear a lot on the internet is what looks like aluminum is aluminum on the Mustang. And right here, you don't have your source. I looked at your works cited page, and I don't see that as one of your sources, because when you had it in quotes, I thought maybe that was the name of the article, but I don't see it. So we need a source here. If you're going to do a quote, we need the source. A driver scrutinizing the Mustang mentioned, I like sitting in the Mustang more. I like the outward visibility more. I like the size of, and they just have an extra space here we need to get rid of. Size of this car more. I also like the interior more. And then let's go ahead and put a period here. And we're going to leave that there because that's the end of the quote. But usually our periods go after our citation. But that, we need that period because that's the end of his sentence and his quote. Right here, if you're a muscle car enthusiast, then why not get a nice interior at the same time? A muscle car exterior design really depends on the buyer. Like what 2015 Ford Mustang versus 2015 Camaro mentioned, this version has taken a full step upstream. It is just a far more refined, sophisticated car than the Mustang ever been before. And right here, this is a comma splice. I'm not sure if that was a period or maybe a semicolon. It is just a far more refined, sophisticated car than the Mustang ever, and we probably need has been before. Check your quote on that. And here we just need this switched. We're going to put our period inside our quotes. The headlights and grille are very futuristic, but still maintain the trademark look. Depending on the car's packages, base or luxury. So this right here is one of those little clauses that can be taken out, so we're going to put commas around it. Depending on the car's packages, they come with pretty much the same exterior options such as fog lamps, premium wheels, moon roofs, and backup cameras. And so you can see that I could read that and it absolutely didn't change the grammar of the sentence at all. If you are a race car driver, buying a car that can handle turns are very important. If you are a race car driver, buying a car that can handle turns is very important, because buying is, here's our subject and here's our verb. Buying is very important. This is a clause, but we can't take it out or it would change the sentence. So no commas, but we still have to make sure our subject and verb agree. The claim you have to fight understeer or on turns and have to fix that with power leads you to oversteer. The claim that you have to fight understeer or on turns and have to fix that with power, which leads you to understeer. I don't understand that sentence at all. It seems like a fragment to me. So go ahead and fix that. The body structure is much firmer. And here the Camaro has good traction around sharp turns, allows correction, and the ability to dig in, allowing you to exit quickly out of the turns. So we have a series here, and we need to keep this parallel. The Camaro has good traction around sharp turns, allows correction. The Camaro has good traction around sharp turns. The Camaro allows correction. The Camaro, and see, we don't have a verb, and the ability to dig in, allowing you to exit quickly out of the turn. The Camaro has good traction. The Camaro allows correction. The Camaro, and how about has the ability to dig in? So if you, here's our subject. The Camaro has good traction. The Camaro allows correction. The Camaro has the ability to dig in. So you can see how they have to always be parallel. Okay, let's see what else. The brake test on the cars had their ups and downs. And in an essay such as this, we're not going to use I, we're not going to use anything personal. So you have to be objective. So let's just say, how about something like, both of these cars have a lot to offer, period. And you haven't brought up at any point that this was, the purpose of this essay was about buying a car, so we're not going to bring it up in the conclusion. Your introduction was more about just that they have been battling to the top. So if you're planning on buying a car for the street, have a look and good shocks for the comfortable ride, then Mustang would be the best answer for you. And so let's not do the buying, because this is the first time I'm reading anything about buying a car. And let's say something about a car for the street. A car for the street with a luxurious interior and good shocks for a comfortable ride. A car for the street with good, luxurious interior and good shocks for a comfortable ride. How about demands a Mustang? I don't know. You work on it. I'm not feeling very creative. A car for the street with a luxurious interior and good shops for a comfortable ride. Demands a Mustang. That doesn't even make any sense. A car for the street with a luxurious interior and good shocks for a comfortable ride. Demands a Mustang. Let's just put is a Mustang. A car for the street with luxurious interior and good shops for a comfortable ride is a Mustang. And then we like to start and end the same way. Let me go back to your beginning here. And you have in the next few paragraphs, we will see how the 40 years of battling have benefited these particular cars. And so we want to end with a battle. In the end, car buying is a personal preference. In the end, the choice of a muscle car, which you called it that earlier, is a personal preference. But the battle between these two, how we'll put muscle cars here, muscle cars will continue. In the end, car choice is a personal preference. Let's change it that way. Car choice is a personal preference, but the battle between these two muscle cars will continue. So we began and end the same way, pretty much. And your thesis or your introduction, great handling in the lab, are just the ice on the cake. In the next few paragraphs, we'll see how 40 years of battling have benefited these particular cars. And that's okay. That works. I would like to see some transitions between these. And we might just bring in here, the battle begins. The battle begins. For a muscle car enthusiast with horsepower. Oh, here you do have buying in here. The most important aspect to, and we already got rid of it before, so let's say the most important aspect to a high performance car. And so that was, we were able to bring battle as a transition here. And then we have both cars. Fuel economy is fantastic with how much horsepower these high performance sports cars can give. And you're going to have to bring in, and I'm going to leave these up to you, both cars' fuel performance is fantastic with how much horsepower these high-performance sports cars can give. Interior is a plus in a sports car. So see, you went from horsepower and high performance right into interior. So let's put in a transition here. And remember, transition, you're going to pick a couple of sentences, a couple of words out of this last sentence, and put it in, and this right here, put it in the next sentence. Both cars' fuel economy is fantastic. Interior is a plus in a sports car. Performance with a plush interior is a plus in a sports car. And so we have sports car and we have performance. And that links it together a little bit better. To begin, the battle begins with horsepower. And see, you have horsepower there and performance there, very good. And so now we're going to link these two together. So we have interior and sports car, interior and sports car, and we want to link these two together. If you're a muscle car enthusiast, then why not get a nice interior at the same time getting great horsepower in a sports car? A muscle car exterior design really depends on the buyer. A muscle car exterior design, and right here, sports car and muscle car, those are synonyms, so that's okay. To me it is. But we've got to link interior to exterior. A nice interior with a great muscle car exterior design is the ultimate machine. So here we have interior spelled wrong. A nice interior, so we have interior. We have muscle car, sports car. So we're bringing those two together. And so I'm assuming you have exterior and depends at the bottom here. Very good. These fascinating sports cars have some pretty elaborate features. How about these fascinating sports cars have some pretty elaborate features, not just on the exterior, but also on the interior. These fascinating sports cars have some pretty elaborate features, not just on the exterior, but also on the interior. So we have exterior, exterior, and then this leads us into our interior. And we might say some pretty elaborate or pretty luxurious, and that way we could use this. And doing these transitions, I know it's spelled wrong, and doing these transitions is kind of the last step in doing your writing. I have that so far off that it can't even find something close to it. There we go. And then you're going to, so you have fascinating and sports cars, you need to bring it in here. These two need to have some common words too. So your transitions just need to be worked on. I'm going to send this back to you, and let's just go ahead and mark get a mark and make some comments. Transition. Let's just I'm going to put it in all caps. Add transitions. And right here we've changed this sentence, but we still need to add transitions. And this is a kind of short. Let's see if you can add, let's see how many sentences we've got. We want it to be at least 5 sentences, and I know I've changed it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's add at least one more sentence. You did a great job on this. It follows the MLA style in adding these in-text citations. That's going to be really important for you later. The title really goes after this, and you might have just been trying to save some space. And you've got your running head, you have your MLA heading, you have your transitions from the first sentence to the last sentence, or the clinchers, as we've called them before. And you just need your transitions linking your paragraphs together, and just a little cleanup work. Go ahead and work on this. It looks good, and go ahead and send it back to me as a final. And then we're going to switch it to the block style. This is a feature style, and I think, and I'm thinking I said that wrong in the other video, or either I wrote it down wrong. But anyways, this is a feature where you had your intro, and then you talked about feature, 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 and you had quite a few features, and then we had a conclusion. And then we're going to do our block. And I cannot type tonight. And when we do our block, I guess I should put on my glasses, that might help. And when we do our block, you're going to do Mustang, didn't help, versus Camaro. And you're going to have an introduction and a conclusion. And under Mustang and Camaro, you might want to list the different features, but basically you're going to talk about all the features of the Mustang in this one, and don't compare them. And then in this one, talk about all the features of the Camaro. But what you want to do is you want to put these features in the same order as the Mustang features. So we'll start with an intro. You'll do all about the Mustang, then you'll do all about the Camaro, and then you'll do a conclusion. But first, just do a final for me. Make the changes, work on your transition, and send me your final. That's the end of the video.